John Facenda is also, the late John Facenda was a local CBS sports announcer, and he was the voice for NFL Films. And if I'm not mistaken, Callis predecessed him, and then I don't even know who's doing it now. I don't know if it's Scott Graham, another local guy, because NFL Films is based out here in South Jersey in Mount Laurel. But awesome footage.
Well, we'll probably be able to find out from the porn star. I'm going to bring the porn star on right now.
Yeah, he's like
Ray
Wikipedia.
Mofo, one of the sports maniacs. Good morning, sir. How is your Sunday morning going? We've got some good weather, but a lot of heavy hearts, and I appreciate you providing me with that audio from Harry Kalas that Scott's been referring to. It really kind of put things into perspective, and hearing his voice and how his heart was so heavy when he was given that address.
That was very emotional. I was at Veterans Stadium that night, and it goes into the file of moments that you will always remember, never forget. And it's great that, we're all here tonight, or this morning, I should say, getting ready for week 1 of the NFL. We're all excited about that, but let's keep things in perspective. The big thing today is 10 years ago, looking back and never forgetting the people who lost their lives on September 11, 2001. And looking back at that open by Harry Kalas, the Phillies were the first major sporting event to be held after the terrorist attack. Remember, the NFL canceled their games the following Sunday because Paul Tagliabue always remembered that Pete Rozell's biggest regret was playing games a few days after the assassination of John F. Kennedy. He did not want to make the same mistake. So when sports came back, it was actually with baseball. Phillies were the first game. And people were still uneasy about that, as everybody can remember. Is it too soon? We're still mourning. There's still smoke coming from Ground Zero. Should we really be going to the ballpark and, worrying about, okay, should they send the runners? Okay, should they go to the lefty out of the pen? Were those things important? But when Harry Kalas came on, gave that little talk, it was almost like he was saying, it's okay. We can get on with our lives. We have to move on. This is America. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep on going, and it's okay to watch baseball. And for the people who are listening who are not from the Philadelphia area, yes, Harry Kalas was the voice of NFL Films. He was the voice of the Phillies for so long, but he was more than just an announcer to those of us in Philadelphia. Harry was pretty much a member of all of our families. That's how we regarded Harry Kalas. And if he said it was okay, then it was okay for us to watch the games. Phillies went on to have a good game. Scott Rowland, when he was still here, people sometimes forget he was here, he had 2 home runs in that game off the Atlanta Braves. And then the Eagles returned to action the following week. And coincidentally, we're here 10 years later getting ready for week 1 against the St. Louis Rams. 10 years ago, on September 9th of 2001, the Eagles also opened up their season against St. Louis. Not sure if this is coincidence or if it was planned that way by the NFL. But, again, let's look forward to a great week 1, but also never forget what happened 10 years ago.
Exactly. And Herm Edwards was also on national media, and he was talking about what you were just saying there, Ray, how a lot of this needed to be given permission to exhale, so to speak, and to take in a football game, and that it was our ultimate act of defiance to put the teams back on the field when we came back from 9/11 to say, you're not going to stop some of the things that we love. That, yeah, you've heard us. Yeah, we got a boo-boo, but we'll be back. And that was the attitude as the games progressed in 2001, several weeks after the 9/11 attacks. Scott?
Absolutely, and it meant a lot coming from Herm Edwards, one of the New York head coaches, the city that was hit so hard. I mean, a lot of the attention does go on New York. I mean, let's not forget there was a tragedy in Washington and out in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, but New York was the city that got hit hardest. And for the Giants, the Jets, the Mets, the Yankees, for them to come back, that was the ultimate.
Yeah, and a lot of big games, and why I think they took great pains in this schedule, Scott, and you can refer to this too, But if you look at some of the games, you have the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. You got Dallas traveling to New York, a really big game. And then aside from that, New England and Miami, Oakland, Denver, seems like a lot of rivalries in week one where you're used to, I guess we saw in college where a lot of the lollipops were in week one. It looks like a lot of big games and a lot of tests for teams today in week one. Carolina, Arizona, Buffalo, Kansas City, big rivalry there. Tennessee, Jacksonville, it seems like they kept a lot of the big rivalries to open up, but the NFL knows that they kind of took a risk doing the lockout, and the fact that they had to get a 10-year agreement together, we all understand that. But a lot of us were scared and kind of still hurt over the NHL, and then the NFL coming into financial problems and having this lockout. I think they really did pay attention to putting some big games on the slate for week one. I've never seen it like this.